Welcome back to Money Monday. We tackle Parx on this Thanksgiving week. Just a couple of minutes before the first race at Parx today. So before we get into any extras, let's first
Actually,
talk.
it's running right now.
That's running already?
Yeah,
Oh, they started a little bit earlier today, huh?
I imagine so.
Yeah, well, that explains it.
And my top pick just won 7.
The 7 horse. How did that happen?
3 second, 4 third.
3 second, 4 third. All right. Well, let's see. How do we have here? How did I get mixed up on the times, Derek?
I don't know. I don't.
I got screwed up on the starting time. I thought they're starting 10 minutes earlier today, huh?
No, I don't think so. 9:05 at my time. So
well, my fault for being late.
maybe you're
All right. Well, I had see what do we have? Well, we'll go to race 2 then, right? You had 3-7. I had an exacta box, $5 exacta box, 3 with the 4, 7, and 8. I had the superfecta, so did you. So all right, well, we missed that one. We won't miss that again tomorrow, Terry. I don't know how I got mixed up on the time. So
that's all right.
Well, free picks today, a little bit later on over at Guarantee Tip Sheet for Finger Lakes. You can get those in the description below. Kindly use that to go over there. And then how did I get goofed up on that? Of course, when the show is over, you can get all of our picks and selections and our thoughts over here at horseracingtoday.net. While you're there, kindly click on the HRT gear. Pick yourself up something warm as the weather's about to break. All right, Terry. Well, that's the first, missing the first race. Well, what's happening in race 2?
All right. So in race 2, oops, wrong sheet. Let me get to race 2. Okay, race 2 is 7 furlongs. Maiden claiming race, $15,000 claiming price. Purse $19,000 for maidens 2-year-olds.
Yes, and at 7 furlongs on the main course, what we're looking for a profile of a winner. Our horse have tactical speed, still plenty of which go wire to wire, 24% for that matter. There's an inside to outside edge. The rail does a little bit better than the rest. So for race number 2, Terry, who has the most early speed?
All right, so we're going to start out here with the 5, 7, and 9 show all the speed, and they're pretty close, so they could all go head to head that quarter pole. Then the 1 has an overlay from 4 to 5 to 9 to 2. 9 has an overlay from almost 8 to 1 to 15 to 1. 1, 5, 9, and 2 have the par plus numbers, and 3, 7, and 5 have the C zone numbers, and the 5 and the 7 both show pretty nice Q30s.
And then we also do race shape here. So we want to know where the horses want to be on the track. If you look here, most of them, the 1, 2, 3, 7, and 9, you see them in this column here. They have not been within 5 lengths of the winner. The finish line, the 5 horse, only the one been close to that. 6 and 8 are going to start for the first time today, Mr. Terry. So speed could be the way. Who's you're at the top of your ticket and why?
All right. I like the 5 Master of Tweets. Finished second versus similar in his last race. Has a high percentage winning trainer and switches to high percentage winning jockey Paco Lopez. Then I like the 6 Canterbury. And Canterbury. He is a first-time starter who has a high percentage winning trainer and a high percentage winning jockey. And then number 1, Fridays with Murray is finished 5th after being bumped at the start and checking at the 3/4 pole. Drops in class today. The rail post is winning at a 19% clip, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. Then I like the 2 marching into April. Finished second versus similar in his last race, and he has a decent workout on November 9th. And then I'm playing the very first pick 4. I'm going to use 1, 2, 5, 6 with the 4, 5 with the 3, 4, 8, 9 with the 1, 2, 6 $48 ticket.
I'm going to start off with the 1 horse in here as my first pick, Fridays with Murray. If this one just has regular second race improvement, it should be an easy win. It's also taking the biggest class drop in the field. Number 5, Master of Tweets. Paco rides. This horse finished second at this level last out, so maybe the jockey upgrade makes a difference today. Carnaby, the 6 horse. Since none of the others have come close to making par, I'm going to take the first 2 first-time starters with the 6 and the 8. My pick 4, I think the 1 or 5 gets the job done here. Then I'm going to go 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 8, 9, 1, 2, 5, and 6. That too is a $48 pick 4. Okay. On to race number 3 we go.
All right. So this race number 3 is, if I can get there, it's a mile and 70 yards, optional claiming race at $25,000 claiming price. Purse is $28,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have started for $25,000 or less, and which have never won 2 races, or a claiming price of $25,000 and which have never won 2 races.
Hector, unfortunately, we don't do all the races here, but if you want to, I think there's GRTV south of the Texas border into North America from Mexico, and then Central America. And if you're in South America, you can use that too. GRTV. Just make sure you look up for horse racing, because in the United States, there's something else that will pop up in your Google search. So again, a mile and 70 yards. We'll have a few of these today. Early speed wins 40% of the time. It goes wire to wire. Post positions are mostly fair. There's a small inside 3 bias. 4 through 7, a small discount. 8 and out is fair. So again, we're looking for some early speed in race number 3, Terry, and it looks like a few of them could fit that description.
Yeah, it's another one of those who knows races, because there's several of them that are pretty close in speed. And then the 4 has an overlay from about 7 to 5 to 2 to 1. All of them show par plus numbers. They all show C zones. And the 4 has a nice Q30.
Yeah, over 30 usually means the horse has a great chance to get to the front and stay there, especially when you team it up with the top C zone. Best chance to get to the lead. Top par plus horse is our sim favorite. Jackson Road is what we would call a green go horse. Green goes all the way across the data from our simulations here. Our race shape for race number 3, we find 3 that want to be on the front, 3 that want to be on the back. So it's going to depend on the early speed. At the start of the race, it sure looks like the 7, Ike's Gamble, is the fastest of them. 5 points clear of Earl of Dassel. Every 5 points equals approximately 1 length. So the 7 horse could have a nice lead. At the end of the race, it does look like Jackson's Road, sitting in that 2nd or 3rd position, has a 1 length late speed advantage. If you take the top total pace there, Jackson Road is 10 points clear or 2 lengths clear of Earl of Dassel. We saw a lot of positives in the sim. We see a lot of positive in the pace and the race setup, Terry. Any beating that 4?
I don't think so. The Jackson Road, the 4 has won his last race, but he was disqualified and placed 2nd. He has a high percentage winning trainer, and he has the highest last speed rating. His best start speed is fastest among today's starters. And then I like 5, Earl of Dassel. He drops in class today, switches to high percentage winning trainer, wins 30% of the starts in the first race after claiming a horse. Curlin's Gunner, the 2, is my 3rd choice, drops in class today, switches high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And this combination in the last 14 days have been in the money 50% of their starts with 25% of it of wins. And then the 7, Ike's Gamble, is my long shot. He won his last race, and he has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 23% of the races when shipping a horse in to compete. And he switches to high percentage winning jockey. No additional bets for me here.
The 4 horse is going to be tough to beat. Top last race speed figure, 5 points better than everybody else. Top total pace, 10 points better than everybody else. Simulation favorite as well for a gringo horse. Number 3, Amor de Oro. Yes, love gold for sure. Better all across the board last out with its race internals. This shows some better fractions last out too. Horses on the upswing. Number 5, Earl of Dassel. You got Jamie Ness, Ruben Silvera. Can never bet against that grouping at Parx. Consistent performer, going to make his first start at Parx. Finally, number 7, Ike's Gamble. You got Paco, 2nd race at Parx. This horse usually runs its best when it's up front, and today should compete for the lead with one of the top C-zone scorers. No bets for me either. On to race number 4 we go in this 10-race card.
Okay, this is a mile and 70 yards again. And it's a claiming race, $15,000 claiming price, purse $28,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won a race since August 25th. Claiming races for $12,500 or less are not considered, or which have never won 4 races.
And Christopher D'Souza in the last couple of races. Race 2, he likes the 7 with the 7, 6, and 8. Race number 3, the 2 with the 2, 3, 4, and 7. If you have any picks, suggestions, if you have any thing you want to add, anything that you like, the Monday Night Football game, there's a soccer game somewhere in the world you think you have an absolute winner, or just want to say hi and let us know where you're from, please do so in the comments. Any interactivity really boosts our search engine optimization scores. That means whenever people search for horse racing picks, there's a good shot Terry and I will show up on the results. We appreciate that very easy way to help boost the show. So at 1.70 miles, we talked a little bit about how the how speed does do very well. 40% of the time goes gate to wire. Post positions are mostly fair, a little bit of an edge for 1, 2, and 3, a little bit more difficult from 4 through 7. So Terry, speed again being an important factor in this race. Where do we find some?
Well, as you see, there's a lot of speed in here again, and there's 4 or 5 of them that are pretty close. So it's really hard to tell who's going to get that quarter pole first. The 1 has an overlay from just over 4 to 1 to 5 to 1. 3 has an overlay from 7 to 1 to 8 to 1. The 4 has an overlay from about 8 to 5 to 9 to 2. The 10 has an overlay from almost 5 to 1 to 12 to 1. All show par plus numbers, and all of them show C zones.
Yeah, looking for C zone, comfort zone. We do is when we project out our pace, we suck out or isolate the best performances for the horses in their last 10 starts, and then compare our projected pace to the pace of their best performance. So we're looking for a score of 50% or better. So 50% of the time, today's race projected pace matches their best performances. So putting them in their comfort zone. As far as our race shape is concerned, here we see the 10 horses a lone E, but has plenty of company over here with the 2, 3, 4, and 8 because they can pilot or co-pilot. Everybody else wants to close. Again, pace should be important here, but this should favor horses that get out front. Got 3 of them, the 3, the 8, and the 4 that have a bit more early pace than the rest. The 4 horse also has the most late speed in here, new commission, so should sit right off the lead, about a length and a half more late speed than everybody else. Put together, the top total pace is 13 points clear, so about 2.5 lengths. Usually in our top total pace picture, the top 4 produces the winner a little bit more than 70% of the time. Terry, who's your winner?
Okay, well, I like the number 8 horse, Splendid Beauty. His early speed running style will help his chances. He has a high percentage when trainer and jockey. Then 4, a new commission. One is 2 races in a row and goes for hat trick now, and he can handle the distance. And then the 3 is my third pick, Level Up, has won 2 races out of the last 5 starts, and he switches to high percentage winning jockey. Then the 9, A Matter of Time, is my long shot, was only beaten in length and 3/4 versus Tupper in his last start, drops in class today, and he has a high speed figure at today's distance. I'm going to play the second Don Johnson pick 4. I'm going to use the 3, 4, 8, 9 with the 1, 2, 6, with the 1, 2, 4, 5, with the 2, 8, 12.
I'm going to begin with the 4 horse in here, New Commission. That one is our simulation favorite, our top par plus horse, top total pace horse, 13 points, better fractions in its last out. The only concern for me is the resume says there is some concern for potential regression in the 3rd start after a layoff. A Matter of Time, the 9 horse, gets the second call for me, taking a small drop in class, has some of the most back class to boot. If it can get off to a better start, its late pace should put this one in the mix at the end. Splendor Beauty, the 8 horse, Sanchez and Jamie Ness. That's a dynamic horse racing duo for jockey and trainer. Should be forward after posting better early pace last out, ordinarily a sign of a horse on the upswing as well. And then the 3 horse Level Up, Paco on the front runner type, drops in class. And if it can rewind 2 races, could make easy work. I think it won that one like 12 lengths or something. So 3, 4, 8, 9 to start for me in my pick 4 as well. 1, 6, 1, 4, 7, and then 2, 7, 8, and 11 in the final leg, which I think an all button might be more appropriate. Race 5, Terry, what's going on here?
Okay, race 5, we're going to go out to a, let's see, got to get here. 1.70 miles again. It's a claiming race, $5,000 claiming price, purse $18,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won 2 races since May 25th.
And again, 4 out of 10 go wire to wire. The inside 3 has a little bit of an edge. 4 through 7, a little bit of a discount. 8 and out's kind of fair. So if you got some inside speed in the 5th race, Terry, you got a good shot. And is there anybody on the inside with a lot of speed?
Well, the 1 and the 5 have the most speed, and the 1 has pretty good speed, so it could get out of there and get to that quarter pole, or they could go head to head to there. The 1 has an overlay from 6 to 5 to 5 to 2. The 5 has an overlay from 5 to 1 to 6 to 1. All but the 3, 7, 9 have par plus numbers, and all of them show C zones.
Yeah, par plus, in case you're new here. What we're looking for in our simulations is how many times the horse runs a speed figure equal to or better than par, according to Brisnet. In this case, 84. That's the average winning speed figure for a horse under these conditions. And 49% of the time, the one horse Zap Motion actually did that in our simulations. Looking at the race shape for the fifth race, this one's loaded towards the front with most of the horses being middle forward. 2 and 3 want to close. If this 6 go too fast, could open the door nicely for a horse that comes from off the pace. At the beginning of the race, the 5 horse, Chip's Friend, a little bit more early speed than Awesome Launch. You can see kind of not a lot of difference here, only 10 points between most of these. So getting out of the gates is important cleanly. At the end of the race, where this one's probably going to be won, Zap Motion has a pretty aggressive late pace over everybody else, and really not that far off the front runners here today, maybe 2-3 lengths off. So should have a good shot to close this race out as your top total pace horse. 9 points clear of the next closest one, so about 1.5 lengths or more. There, the one horse looks like a winner here.
It does. Zap Motion is my top pick. Won his last race. Parx Racing has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 27% of the starts, and the second horse off of a layoff, second race off of a layoff. And he can handle the distance. Number 6, Midnight Act, my second choice. He ran second versus similar to his last race. He has the highest last race speed rating. He has the highest speed figure at today's distance. And his best start speed is fastest among today's starters. Rack-a-tap-a-tap-tap or whatever. Number 2, he drops in class today and has a high percentage winning trainer. And then Chip's Friend, the 5, is my long shot. Drops in class, and he also has an early speed running style that'll help his chances. No additional bets for me here.
Zap Motion getting the top call for me in race number 5 is your sim favorite. Also top total pace, 10 points better than everybody else. And as we saw in our pace setup, a really big late speed edge and probably not all that far off the front group today. Midnight Act, the 6 horse, all of the race internals were better last time out. Did run better fractions to boot, and also the top last race speed figure, 3 points better than anybody else. Rack-a-tap-tap, the fun one to say. Third up and drops in class today. And then finally, Chip's Friend, really good shot to be your pace setter in here. I think the one horse wins this race. So I'm going to put 20 to win on it and 10 to place on the one. Hopefully get some decent odds. I don't know. If we get maybe 2 to 1, I'd be happy, but I don't know that we'll get that. The second half of the card starts with race number 6. Again, before we go off to that, free picks today at Finger Lakes. Yes, I almost forgot for a minute.
Top pick 1.
In race number 1?
Yep, top pick 1.
Yeah, I felt like it's going to be a pretty good day there. A lot of the horses ranked out pretty high at the top of the ticket. So it was also a best bet venge to find out the rest of the best bets at Finger Lakes and see if they win. So link in the description below. In a little bit after the show ends, we'll post our thoughts as well as a race replay right here on horseracingtoday.net. Kindly use, come over here, check on that. You'll see my Japanese algorithm did pretty good, surprisingly, on the weekend for the Japan Cup. So I was pretty happy about that. You can check that out over at horseracingtoday.net. While you're there, please hit on that HRT gear. Get yourself something to help support the show and look great for your, holiday parties coming up. All right, Terry, race number 6. What's the story on this one?
All right, it's 1 mile and 70 yards again. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong race here. Race 6 is 6 furlongs, maiden $50,000 purse. It's for maidens, fillies, 2-year-olds.
So this is an anything can happen race at 6 furlongs with a bunch of babies, a bunch of them starting for the first time. If you want to get that first W, tactical speed does good. So be middle forward. In fact, on the front, wins 36. There's a bit of a rail bonus for hold your breath. 2 through 7 play fair. 8 and out is a little bit of a discount. Just about anything can go here, Terry. But when they get going, from the data we have, it looks like the 6 horse has a decent chance to get to the lead.
It does, but there's several of these horses in here that haven't even had a race, so it's pretty hard to make any kind of determination with that. But the 4 has an overlay from 2 to 1 to 7 to 2. The 7 has an overlay from 3.5 to 1 to 6 to 1. All but the 5 and 6 have par plus numbers, and only the 5 and 6 have C zones. And then if you look at the 4, 5, and 6, they have pretty good Q30s. So
Yeah, indeed. Well, a lot of these numbers are just the averages for the first time starters. There's a whole bunch of them in here. You'll see that here 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 10. Today's their debut. 5 and 6 so far. Neither of them have been close in their limited experience to the winner. 4 horse showed it wanted to pressure. The 7 horse showed it wanted to close. At the start of the race, from the experienced horses, it does look like Maggie's Mischief is a little bit quicker than our Daydreaming Girl. As the race comes to a close of the horses with experience, our Daydreaming Girl, a lot more late speed. That does clearly look like the best of the experienced horses. Then it's up for grabs after that, Terry. We both think the 4 horse gets the job done with a little bit different thoughts thereafter.
Yeah, I like the 4R Daydreaming Girl. She was only beaten in length and a quarter versus similar to last start. Her best start speed is fast among today's starters. Her best starts, and she has a good workout on November 13th. Then I could have the 2 as my second choice as a first-time starter whose sire wins 17% of the races with first-time starters. Her dam has 1 winner from 1 starter. Her breeding suits today's sprint distance, and she has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 23% of the starts with 2-year-old horses. And then number 1, Hold Your Breath, is my third choice, is another first-time starter. The dam has 3 winners from 3 starters. The Rail Post is winning at a 19% clip and has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. And then I like 5, Tailspin, Tailzin. Anyway, she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, and blinkers are added. No additional bets for me here.
Hello, Private Ross. Thanks for joining us. We missed the first race too, as I got mixed up on the post time. Anyway, I like the 4 horse. It's a horse that just needs to run back to its debut and its 3rd career start, and it's a wrap. Has a maintenance workout between races, so hopefully more fit today in a bounce back race in the 3rd career start. Miss Annabella, the 7 horse. This one just needs typical second race improvement between 5 and 13 speed points, and, well, could be your winner. Number 1, Hold Your Breath. This one is a 3 of 3 in terms of my 3-point scale. First-time starter. It rides that hot rail. The 10 horse gets the next call for me. Was a tough call over the rest of the first-time starters, but it does have the best series of workouts in my opinion. 7, the beginning of the last pick 4 of the day. Terry, another maiden race where anything can happen.
That's right. Let's hold it here. Here we go. 7 furlongs, maiden, $50,000 purse, and it's for maidens 2-year-olds.
For the second time today, we'll see a 7 furlong race. Tactical Speed does very well. Almost a quarter of the horses winning on the lead. There's an inside-outside bias with the rail having a big edge, well, at least a recognizable edge over the rest here. Terry, again, a lot of horses giving it a go for the first time in race number 7. So the data's spotty, but what do you see in it?
Well, the 5 and the 8 show similar speed, so they could go head-to-head. But that 10 might have something to say about it. The 4 has an overlay from almost 6 to 1 to 8 to 1. 8 has an overlay from about 9 to 5 to 9 to 2. 8, 4, and 12 show par plus numbers, and 4 shows the best C zone by far.
Again, this race is pretty much going to be wide open. 1, 2, 7, 11. Today's their first time at it. 4, 9, and 10 so far. Not close at the finish line. Of the horses with experience, the 5 and 8 want to lead. 3, 12 want to be pressure horses. 6 wants to close. Most horses do win their maiden up front. So let's see which grouping has the best chance. Well, beyond expectations, that one should be your leader, at least of the experienced horses. That's about a whole length quicker than everybody else. And we don't know what the inside horses will do there. At the end of the race, well, this one could be one. El Medianoche. Yeah, that one's a little bit faster than the rest, but could be way off the pace early on. As far as your top total pace horse goes, for the horses with experience, it looks like you have the 8 and 10 for consideration, and everybody else is kind of a drop off from there, Terry. So maybe the 8 and 10, a couple first time starters. What say you?
I like the 8 beyond expectation. Finished 3rd in his last race as a favorite, but it has a high percentage winning trader who wins 28% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back to race. Again, his best start speed is faster than today's starters. Has a high percentage winning jockey. I like the 12, my second choice. He ran 2nd in his last race. Has the highest last speed rating, and blinkers are added. Global Steve, the 2 is first-time starter whose dam wins has one winner from one starter and one stakes winner. He has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 27% of the races with the first-time starters, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. Lots of boxes marked up. Then I like the 5 Central. Anyway, he ran second versus similar his last race. I'm going to play the last Miami Vice Don Johnson pick 4. I'm going to use 2, 4, 5, 8, 10, 12 with the 4, 6, with the 1, 5, and finish up with the 1, 6, 7, and 9.
You need some money over the weekend. Let's go. I am wholeheartedly with that, for sure. Hit that like button. Yes, indeed. Please do that. Hit the like button. That helps us out as well. Other ways you can help us out are to follow us along. You see them on our social sites streaming down there below. If you haven't subscribed on YouTube, while you're watching, do so. If you're watching on Twitter, great way to help us is retweet. When the show is over, we will post in the description on YouTube. We'll timestamp every race. So you can come back and watch every race, look at all the data, however it is that you want to participate. Any interactivity is greatly appreciated. That'd be greatly appreciated, too, if the 2-horse does win. In this race, none of the horses that have experience have a par race. When that's the case with some first-time starters, you got to put them on top. So I'm going to start with the 2-horse. Global Steve does have the inside post position edge for trainer Robert Reed. When he teams up with jockey Mikel Sanchez, they win at a whopping 44%. Just Cheesy, the 11-horse. Top-rated first-time starter, actually rated out higher than the 2, but that outside post position is a little bit of a discount. Does have the best workout, 4 furlongs in 47 and 4 at Parx. That's pretty fast. Beyond expectations, this one has Kendrick Carmouche, a horse that's likely to be on the front. And when Kendrick gets to the front, if he can get away with it, look out. And then finally, number 7, Encrypt. A tough call over the rest of the horses for me in here. But it is another first-time starter with I think, a pretty solid set of workouts. So I'm going to start my pick 4 with 2, 7, 8, 11. Kind of wanted to toss the 10 in there, but didn't get to. 1, 4, 1, 2, 5, 7 with the 5, 6, and 8, because I feel like the back half of this card is really kind of wild.
Okay, the second race is running right now.
All right, so let's go look at race number 2. It looks like we're coming to the end here. It looks like you got the 2-horse. Going to win this race at a long price. It's going to go 2 and then 5 and then the 1. So 2, 5, 1.
2's my long shot. So,
all right. Well, Terry, you got that in your pick 5. Congratulations. Hopefully that one takes you to. That one went off at 18-1. So hopefully that one takes you all the way to the pick 4.
Came 2, 5, right? Is that what you said?
2, 5, and 1.
Okay, I had the then. If you took my 4 horses and boxed them, you got the trifecta and an exacta. So
you might have even got the superfecta. I'm not sure. So I didn't see it came in 4th.
1. If the 1 ran 4th, I got
the the 1 ran 3rd.
Okay. Then if the 6 ran 4th.
Right. So, 2 and then the 5.
I got it.
And then the 1.
Superfecta.
And 6. Yes, sir. All right. Well, hopefully you played that. Put that in your pick 4s as well. And hopefully that pick 4 finds its way all the way through.
I hope so.
Race 8 is next for us. Here, Terry, what's this one all about?
Okay, well, race 8 is once I get there, 6.5 furlongs, optional claiming race, $25,000 claiming price, purse $32,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have started for a claiming price of $25,000 or less, or which have never won a race other than the maiden or claiming, or which have never won 4 races, or a claiming price of $25,000 or never won 4 races.
So for 6.5 furlongs, tactical speed does good. Inside is better than outside. And who has all the inside speed here, Terry?
Okay, so in this race here, if you take a look, really the 1 has inside speed, but there's several other horses that are pretty close, especially the 4 and the 5. And then the 4 has an overlay from 2-1 to 5-2. 8 has an overlay from 9-1 to 15-1. All of them show par plus and all show C zones.
Race shape for the 8th race. Ooh, a lot of early speed in here. Many horses middle back. I could favor some of those horses that sit right off the pace if they go too hot early on. 4, 5, and 8. Well, it could be hot because there's a lot of horses within 10 points of each other, within 2 lengths. So wouldn't be at all surprised to see a little bit of early speed in there. So late speed could factor in, but 4 and 5 have plenty of that along with the 7 in there. And then finally, your top total pace building. You have the 4, the 5. They're well above everybody else. Terry, looks like this is your best bet of the day.
It is. It actually is. I was a little disappointed last week because I'd won 3 days in a row with my best bet, and then the 4th day I ran second. So, oh well. Anyway, I like the 4. Souza. He has won his last 3 races in a row, and his early speed running style will help his chances. Got a high percentage winning trainer. The 6, Prince Colton, is my second choice. Was beaten only 1.5 lengths versus similar in his last start. He can improve at the shorter distance. He has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. Yo-Yo Candy, the 1, is my third choice and won his last race. And the Rail Post is winning 20% clip. The 5, Ninja Prince, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. I'm going to bet $24 to win on the number 4 horse. I'm going to bet a $2 exacta box, 1456, $4 exacta with the 4 on top, and then the 156. And I'm going to play a $5 daily double, 4 and 6 with the 1357.
I'm going to start with Yo-Yo Candy, the 1 horse. This one is your lone PC horse versus a lot of horses that want to get forward. All of the race internals are better across the board along with its fractions last out. Ran twice at Parx. So far, won them both pretty easily. And really, when you look back at its past performance, has been facing a lot tougher than it's going to see here. So's the 4 horse is your top last race speed figure, 8 points better than everybody else. Finished first in all 3 of its Parx races, although 1 got DQ'd into 3rd since coming over from Monmouth. Ninja Prize, the 5 horse. That one has plenty of back class, should be up front as well. And then finally, 6, Prince Colton. This one likes to finish second, 4 times at the distance, 4 seconds, and in the money, 8 of 9 at Parx. I'm going to do a $5 exacta key box with the 1 horse over the 4, 5, and 6. 2 races to go for the beginning, and the end of the late daily double. So, oh, by the way, in race number 2, if you had taken Terry's top 4 and put them together in your superfecta, 10 cents turned into $61 and I think 59 cents. My vision's not that good anymore.
Wow.
All right, race number 9. What do we got?
Okay, it's a mile and 70 yards, optional claiming race, $16,000 claiming price. And the purse is $50,000 for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won a race other than a maiden claiming starter or state bred, or which have never won 2 races, or a claiming price is $16,000.
And for the, I don't know how the 5th time today, a mile and 70 yards, early speed, 40% on the front, stays on the front. Your post positions are mostly fair. There is an inside 3 bias. Again, 4 through 7 have to work a little bit harder than the rest. 8 now, it's kind of fair. So speed again at Parx, Terry. What's going on here with the early speed?
All right. Well, if you take a look there, the 2 and the 5 show the most speed, followed up by that 1. So it could be another one of those races where they go head to head. The 2 has an overlay from 7 to 5 or 8 to 5 to 6 to 1. 4 has an overlay from 5 to 1 to 10 to 1. 7 has an overlay from 5.5 to 1 to 6 to 1. The 2 has the best par plus number, although several others have some kind of a par plus number, and all of them show C zones. So
yeah, and at race number 9, the way we see the 2 is a lone E, everybody else middle back. The 1 horse, the lone PC, got to look out for those Sister Supreme types there. Lone E gets the lead. Those horses become dangerous on the dance floor. Does look like Sister Supreme and Turn on the Charm, Bella Queen. A lot of horses going to get out there. At the end of the race, the 2 horse, Turn on the Charm, with the most late speed. Again, you see some of the same numbers up there again. Top total pace horse is that 2 horse, a little bit better than Sister Supreme. Here's your top 4 in green, the 1, 2, 4, and 5. Terry, who are your top 4?
Okay, I like the 5 Bella Queen. She's finished in the money in 4 out of the 5 career starts. She won one of those races, has a high percentage winning jockey. Sister Supreme is the 1, is my second choice. She has finished in the money in 8 of her last 10 starts, winning 2 races, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Girl from Outer Space, the 3 is my third choice, ran second versus similar in last race, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Southampton Dock is my long shot, the 7. Finished third versus similar in her last race and has a good 4 furlong workout on November 16th. No additional bets for me as I'm out of money.
I'm going to start with the 2-horse. That is your Lone E, a Turn on the Charm. Should be out front today. It's a simulation favorite too. Maybe at a good price as well. Bella Queen, the 5-horse. You got Kendrick, second time after a layoff. Did show better pace early on last time out, so a lot of room to be better today. Sister Supreme, the 1-horse. You have Jamie Ness, Mikel Sanchez. That's a dynamic duo. This horse has been in the money 5 or 6 at Parx. My only worry about it winning is it seems like when the horse is in contention at the end, it likes to hang, look around, see what's going on around me. And then Southampton Doc, the 7-horse. This one's been at Parx twice, the second and the third. Been at the distance 3 times, 2 seconds and a third. So maybe one of those horses, like Tom says, win. Nah, but in the money, yeah, you gotta really consider it. No money for me as well. So Terry's best bet is in race number 8. He likes the 4-horse in there. As you can see his bets here. Again, we'll timestamp all the races when the show is over. Also put our comments over at horseracingtoday.net. You can catch all that information over there. There is a link in the description below. Use that so you can get on over there with the most of ease. And then also use the link to get some Finger Lakes picks today for free. Last race that we're going to do today. Tomorrow we'll do Parx again. Wednesday we'll do Churchill Downs. Not quite sure what our schedule is for Thursday, Thanksgiving just yet, but in all likelihood we're just going to post our picks over on horseracingtoday.net. Terry, what's the story for the 10th race?
6 furlongs, claiming race, $7,500 claiming price, purse $21,000 for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 2 races.
Yes, and for 6 furlongs, the last time today, the profile of a winner, tactical speed, a full 36% win, gate to wire. There's a rail bonus. The girls, no joke, couldn't outrun those 12-to-1 odds. 2 through 7 play fair. 8 and out, there's a little bit of a discount. Mr. Terry, who's got the speed in race number 10 to close the show?
Well, as you see there, everything's got some speed, but the 3 and the 9 show the most speed, so they could probably get out going for that quarter pole. And then the 1 has an overlay from 3-to-1 to 12-to-1. The 3 has an overlay from about 7.5-to-1 to 8-to-1. The 5 has an overlay from 3-to-1 to 5-to-1, and the 8 has an overlay from just over 9-to-1 to 10-to-1. All but the 10, 1, and 12. No, 10 and 12, I think. Yeah, have par plus numbers. And then all but the 7 has C zones.
Some real strong C zones in here too. A lot of horses that should like the way this race sets up today. Sets up, woo, look at all that early pace in there. That should be hot. 4, 6, 7, 10. They might really like the way this race sets up at the beginning. Treasure Piece is your fastest horse, but look at all of these horses. They're all within 12 points of each other. They have to be really careful not to run too fast in the final race of the day. If they do, keep your eye on the 6-horse, the 5-horse, the 4, or the 8. Man, a lot of horses in here with some similar late speed. The last race of the day looks like it's kind of wide open, although Swan's Island does get a little bit of a late total pace edge over the rest. Again, really, all the way down to here, only a 9-point difference. So quite a few to pick from, Terry. Why did you put the 6 as your top selection?
Well, she did not finish in her last race. She stumbled really badly at the start. And so she didn't finish the race even. They pulled her up. But she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, and she had a nice bullet workout since then on November 15th. Then I like 9 private call credit. She comes in from Mountaineer Park to try Parx racing. She can improve while returning to a sprint, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. Swan's Island, the 5 is my third choice, ran second in her last race, and she has a highest last speed rating. And her early speed running style helps her chances. Pascal, the 7 is my long shot. Finished third versus similar in her last race, and she can handle this distance. As I said, I have no money, so there's no other bets for me.
Swan Island is going to get the top call for me to close the day. Top last race speed figure was 8 points better than the rest, and it was at this level last out. 8, Echo Lake, run back to either of her first 2 races at Parx. Good chance to hit at a good price. Number 6, Namora, you got Jamie Ness, and then Mikel Sanchez once again. Bullet workout in between races after that mishap at the beginning of the last start. And then 2, Wiki Leo, another long shot in here. making the third start after a layoff. So far hasn't taken the Parx after coming in from Tier 1 tracks, but it does have the most upside in the race, and its average speed figure has been better than the best for the most of the rest. So if it can regroup or refine any of that form, probably wins this race, but it hasn't so far shown any of that ability at Parx. Our full picks are in for today's card. The winner in race 1 was the 7. The winner in race 2 was the 2. Here are our thoughts for the rest of this day. Again, we'll be back tomorrow for Parx. And to not miss that Parx show, Terry, what's the best thing and the right thing to do?
Well, you need to subscribe to our YouTube channel here and hit that little bell so that you're notified about whenever our different programs are coming up. And then also go down there and copy that link, share it with everybody you know so that they could also come and check us out. Then go to our social sites at Horse Race, the number 2 day. Give us a likes and a thumbs up at TikTok, Instagram, X, Threads, and Facebook. And then also keep these comments coming. And bye, Tafon. It's glad to see you today. Thanks, Don Johnson, for your comment there. And Private Ross, the rest of you folks, keep those picks coming and also the comments. We really like to get them. They help us out too.
Yeah, in just a minute, we'll post all of the race times again. We'll stamp them in the description on YouTube so you can come back and watch every single race. We're really close to launching all this data being available for everybody. So as soon as it does, we will go about making it available. Let's see if I have this in here. No, that's not what I want. Never mind. Wrong button. So let's see. Did I put in documents? Where did I put? Anyway, I was able to create a PDF. I just need to kind of structure it a little bit better so it's a little bit cleaner. Put some instructions in there. And then we'll have comfort zone. We'll have early pace. We'll have all of the information available for every single track in the country. A few other things that we haven't shown on the show just yet. And then that'll be phase 1. There'll be a lot more for phases 2 and 3. Again, free picks over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet for Finger Lakes. Link in the description below. Momentarily, all of our thoughts and picks will be over at horseracingtoday.net. You can go over there. And then finally, when you're there, hit the HRT gear. Get yourself something to wear to support the show. We'd appreciate that. Any final thoughts from you, Terry, before we get ready for Parx on Terrific Terry Tuesday?
Yeah, just stay safe with all this nasty weather. I know you've had somewhere you're at, and there's rain like crazy here. It's cold. And just everybody have a great rest of the week. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, we had 3 inches of snow a couple of days ago. So first snowfall. It's getting cold, but hey, that's winter in Chicago. Yep. All right, folks, no matter what you're doing for the rest of this Monday, we certainly hope that it's filled with God's grace, God's favor, and every single thing that you do until we meet again ends in the
winner's circle.
Indeed. See you tomorrow.